So today I will just show you how to use your effects on Midas M32. This is Midas M32R. Midas M32 and X32 digital mixer are the same. They are using the same interface, the same functionality. Now, the first thing we want to look into is the effects. Here you have your input session and your output session. These 6 buttons are your input session. These are your input session, while these are your output session. You have DCA, you have bus 1 to 8, bus 9 to 16, and you have matrix 1 to 16 and MC on bank layer. So first, let's go to the effects. Today we are going to focus on the effects. Now, from 13 to 16 on the physical fader has already been designed for your effects. Press select now and assign the effect on the screen. It will take you to what is on this 13, bus 13. You have vintage. The next one, you have all reverb. The next is delay, while the last one is chorus, stereo chorus. So you see, any of these fader, you can assign any of the effect on any of the fader. I think you understand. You can decide to change from vintage to another. What you need to do, just press the home screen button here. This is the effect 13, 14, 15, 16. You can use this encoder to switch to any other effect that you desire to use. So, but today we're just going to leave it the way it is. The next thing we want to do now, how to send a reverb to your channel. Now, this is my channel. This is the channel I'm using for the microphone. This is the channel that I'm using for the microphone. So what I want to do now is I want to send the reverb on this channel. So the next thing I want to do now, what I will need to do now is to come to this third bank layer, the fader layer. This is 9 to 16. While you have bus 1 to 8, you have your DCA here, then you have your matrix. Now, bus 9 to 16, your effect is starting from 13 to 16. Now, you have all reverb. I'm going to be using all reverb as a reference. So let's say I want my reverb to be on this channel. What I will do now is to say send on fader. Don't forget, you need to select on any digital mixer before you do anything on a particular channel. Is either input or output. You must first of all to select that channel. So I have select my bus 14. On the bus 14, I have the all reverb on the bus 14. Then the next thing I want to do is to send on fader. I will be pushing up here. Will be the reverb. Check 1, 2. Check, check, check. Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2. Don't forget, you must not abuse all these things, because too much of everything is very, very bad. I think you understand. So this is how you're going to send a reverb to your channel. Don't forget, this is sent. Let me remove the reverb so that you can hear me clearly, because this is speech. So don't forget, this is your sent. As you have sent, you also have a return. Now, on the input section, where you write FX return, here, this is where your return is. Because as you are sending it out, you also return it back to the mixing console before it go out to your main PA. Before the effect can be heard on your PA, on your monitor, you must have a return. And on this mixing console, this return has been designed for the effect to be heard on the left and right, the main speaker. If I select any of this return now, if I select it, you will see that all these channels are linked to the main. If I disengage this guy, that means the effect will not be heard on my PA. So make sure all these lights is on. Make sure they are on. That is how the effect will be heard on the PA. Now, let's go back to effect. Check 1, 2, check 1, 2, check 1, 2, check 1, 2. Now, on this return now, check 1, 2, you will see that signal is coming out. Now, if I disengage this effect on the main, you will stop hearing the reverb. Check 1, 2, check 1, 2. You see that what you are having here is dry mix, but immediately I assign it back to the PA, you will start hearing it on the PA. I think you understand. So, what if the musician asks for effects, ask you to send the effects on their wedges on the monitor? So that is where these returns comes in. You see these returns, you are going to use this return, the sample of this effect, you're going to use return to send it back to the wedges. Now, we have been on the effect return here. The next thing you will want to do, you go back to your bus. This is your auxiliary 1 to 8. In analog mixing console, is called auxiliary. Here is auxiliary. I think you understand. But on digital, on this Midas M32 and X32, is called box. On Yamaha digital mixer is auxiliary. So they are all the same. So don't get yourself confused. So now we want to send this reverb back to our monitors because the musician are requested for the reverb. What you will do, you go back to monitor here. Make sure you are on return on the inputs. Make sure you assign bus, any of the area you want to send the reverb to. So the next thing you will do is send on fader. Make sure you apply this button and select. If you are, for example, you are sending to bus 1 now. Let's say you are sending to bus 1. You have to select the bus 1 and gradually, easily move it off. Don't move everything up immediately. Just move it up until FET is hard on the wedges. I think you understand. Make sure this effect, make sure you don't add too much reverb on your monitor, because if you have too much of this reverb on your monitor, you are going to be facing a feedback problem. You are going to be facing a lot of issue on your monitor. Something I want to show you, you must be very, 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 very careful. You have used the return to send the reverb to the monitor. Now, make sure when you are sending this reverb to the monitor, make sure that this place, this bus 13 to 16, make sure you don't select it, because if you select it, if you select the bus 14, any of this reverb, let's say I'm sending from bus 14, I've sent my reverb on bus 14, then I want to send it back to the stage. This from 13 to 16 are not your monitors. These are the effects sent. Don't make a mistake look at this mistake now. This mistake I want to do now. This is the reverb. Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2. Check, check. So don't make that kind of mistake to send a reverb from the return back to the send. Never make that kind of mistake. So you have to be very, 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 very careful. You have to be extraordinary careful when it comes to reverb and when you are sending a reverb out. So thank you very much. I will see you some other time.